Good morning, guys. Good morning. Now back to what truly matters, which is the economic and political affairs of South Africa. And we are looking back to the budget speech of yesterday, which was postponed to the 12th of March after the serious disagreement over the 2% VAT increase. I knew that we were going to get an increase either way because of how things looked. But we are going to look at the reaction of different political parties to that speech, and I'm going to make a video for each political party that I'm going to bring here so that I don't waste much of your time, so that you go straight to the political party of interest reaction. So we are starting with the Democratic Alliance, who jumped into campaigning immediately. So we're going to be looking at the posters, so I call them, that they've put up on X. These are campaign posters. If you look at them, there they say more growth, correct? X on the other side, no more tax, with the colors that sort of resemble the ANC. All right, DA says no to VAT increase. The ANC don't have a majority in parliament, and the DA won't give them one. We will vote against the budget. Okay, support the DA in rejecting the ANC's VAT budget. Jobs, not tax. You see, this talks to the majority, how the majority of the South Africans feel at the moment, which brings us to the question that I'm about to ask. If we were to vote today, please share in the comment section, who do you vote for from the list of the political parties that we know in South Africa? Who would you vote for if we were to vote today, since we know now what the speech contained from yesterday? So I want us to look at this poster as well, because for me these are campaign posters. On the right it says higher ANC VAT equal to higher prices, right? The ANC is making food and living more expensive. On the other side, more jobs, lower prices, support the DA in rejecting the ANC's VAT budget. Now what is interesting me the most is the people that they are using. You know, I'm not trying to racially divide. Do get, please, if you have been watching my content, I'm against anything that seeks to divide South Africans racially, whether it comes from the black side or the white side. And we are still calling for that equality, while I personally reject anything that seeks to divide South Africa racially, whether it comes from the black community or the white community. We need sorting our issues out. So the interesting part is the use of black people, not like that, but what I'm saying is it shows that the DA knows that for them to govern this South Africa, they need the vote from black people, who are the majority in this country. So now their marriage with AFRIFORUM has messed up that vote. Now the question is, I'm one of the people that wanted to vote for the Democratic Alliance in the next elections, but when I look at what happened recently, I changed my mind. I really changed my mind. So now, if we were to vote today, knowing very well how the ANC behaved up to this point, knowing there's new MK, there's now EFF as well, all of them are ANC babies, the ANC that we are not so happy with, at them, who would you vote for today? Also, this other poster says the ANC is making food and living more expensive. Higher VAT equal to higher prices. You see, support the Democratic Alliance in rejecting ANC's VAT budget. So, what I want to ask from you, who do you think, which political party do you think this VAT situation will favor in the next local government elections, which are next year? Because we're having these local government elections next year. Who do you think is going to benefit from this? Who do you think? Because at this moment, I am not so very happy with all the political parties that we see. The one that is even sounding better to me is Action SA. So who do you think is going to benefit from this VAT increase? Because it goes straight to the poor people, and those are the majority. So as I'm talking like this, I belong to that group. Yes, and it is hectic. So I'm going to share with you a video clip of Steenhuisen reacting to this speech. But what I can tell you right now, things are not looking good. Let us read this one. More growth, DA Their choice is clear. This is why I'm saying the DA is already campaigning, child. They are not playing like that. More tax on the right side, the right side of the ANC, more growth on the right hand side. You see where the whole thing has gotten messed up. I wish the Democratic Alliance would lead in fighting against racism, especially from the white side. Do you get? Because that's where most of the racism comes from. Please note my words. I'm not excluding us as black people from pushing racism. Do you get? I'm saying the majority comes from there. The people who have history even before today of racism, it is the white people. So what I'm saying is, if the Democratic would lead, there's a video of a white guy who said, we need to use our white privilege as white people to fight against racism, to call racism out. So now that situation with AFRIFORUM has really messed up their votes because it's a cloud hanging over their heads because of that marriage they have with the AFRIFORUM. South Africa, the choice is clear: more growth or more tax. The ANC wants to hike VAT and make life more expensive. The DA will not give their budget a majority in parliament. We stand for real growth and job reforms. No more taxes. Yo, Sana, this is South Africa is such a busy place these days. So if we were to vote today, I'm still asking that question. If we were to vote today as things stand with that budget speech, who were you going to vote on this day? Just thinking about the top parties, the biggest parties in South Africa, your ANC, Democratic Alliance, MKEFF, Action SA.
John, thank you for joining us. What is your reaction to this budget that we just heard?
Well, obviously, I've said very clearly when I emerged, before we went in, that we're not in a position to support the budget in its current form. We don't believe this budget speaks to the growth agenda in South Africa, and it doesn't make some of the bold decisions that we need to be able to move the country forward. And so it's very, very important that people understand that you cannot simply pass a 1% cumulative VAT increase onto the people of South Africa, massively ramping up the cost of living, massively increasing the price of transport and other foodstuffs, without at the same time putting on the table some very, very clear issues that you could grow the economy with and create jobs. The Democratic Alliance joined government to be part of the job creation and economic growth agenda. We do not believe that at this stage and in its current form, this budget speaks to that. We're very happy to continue the negotiations and work towards when the instruments have to be tabled, but in its current form, this budget only has 39% of the support in the House, and it's up to the Finance Minister now explain how he intends to get this budget over the line. I would have thought you come to the Parliament with a budget that is locked away with its own majority. This budget doesn't have that.
DA at work, rescuing